It was the first day in the school after summer break. Rainbow Dash was waiting with her locker with Applejack and Pinky. Everyone was talking about their particular summer break, what they've been doing. Pinkie Pie with her family, and Applejack was away for some time to see some other relatives, some of her cousins who lives in a different city. But Rainbow, she had been working mostly on her soccer playing games during the summer. Applejack said to Rainbow, Applejack, why would you even try to be better at soccer? We know you're good at it. Yeah, but I want to be practiced so that I don't lose my skill. Applejack just rolled her eyes and said, Applejack, Rainbow, you don't lose your skill if you don't take a break from playing soccer. You know that. And therefore from you to say, you didn't work out the work in this summer, did you? No, not that much. You just helped me at the farm, but that is not the same thing. My life is, or at least my helping in the family from time to time, but you spend almost an entire summer to be playing soccer. I I don't know what to do. I mean, you always practice with the soccer. Didn't you spend any time with your friends or in your family? But Rainbow said that her parents has been busy most of the summer. But she did spend time with Twilight and Fluttershy. So, but then they suddenly saw this young boy walking by them. Who is he? Asked Pinky. Um, Applejack said, I don't know, I never seen it before. Must be new, said the Rainbow. But she didn't saw him. I wonder where he's from, said Pinky, and started falling. Pinky! What? said Pinky back. Don't follow him. You know that is creepy. I wonder what they see when he's like. You know people probably don't like when you're doing that. You know that. Fine, Applejack. I won't. And then she walked back to the classroom. But during lunch break, Rainbow was sitting with her friends, and suddenly this new young boy's name came up. Swift Flying. Who? Rainbow said. Swift Flying? Who is he? The new guy who just started school. Who? We talked about him early this morning, said Applejack. I didn't see any. Oh, he's right over there, said Twilight and points to Flash and his friends. Applejack looked, and there indeed Rainbow. When Rainbow saw him, he was like smiling and laughing with his friends. That him? He's kinda cute. That made Rarity start blushing and almost squealing of happiness. Oh, I think Rainbow is in love. Shut it, Rarity. You know that I'm not in love with like that so fast. But Rainbow didn't pay much attention. She finished her lunch and left. But after school was over, she was standing on the soccer field to practice from herself. But suddenly, when she was going to go there, she saw and heard someone was already there playing. And she saw Swift Flying. And when she saw his kicking on the ball, right in the score, it was like a professional score. She actually just stood there, wondering, how can he be so good at soccer? But she didn't pay too much attention, so she walked up to him, and he saw her, and he greeted, and he then asked, Oh, sorry, are you supposed to be in training here? He saw her with a soccer ball under her arm. Yeah, but I can use that as a second goal. My name is Swift Flying. I moved here. Rainbow Dash. Captain of the soccer team. Wait, Dave Rainbow Dash? Why, you heard about me? Um, most of them Flash and the others, but they say that you're a very skilled soccer player, but that is pretty cool. And Rainbow just smiled and said, "Yeah, playing soccer is kind of my thing, you know." And then they started just talking more and more about soccer, and suddenly Rainbow's phone was start ringing. It was her mom, saying she was getting late for dinner, and she had then lost her track of time and said sorry that they will see each other in school tomorrow. So then they said yes and goodbye. But next morning in the school, Rainbow was talking to Swift lying by her locker when Applejack, Rarity, and the others saw it. Are they talking? It seems like it. I bet they're talking about soccer. You bet they're on, said Sunset. But when they walked up, they heard they weren't talking about soccer. They were actually talking about almost anything. Lost the bet. Ah, man, said Sunset. But during the first class, though, Rainbow was talking to Rarity and Applejack. How do you think about Swift flying? He's cool. He's a soccer player like me, and his former former school, he was a soccer player too. But he kinda just quit doing it. Wait, really? Why? Said Rarity. I don't know. I asked him, but he didn't give us much answer. He just said, lost passion. That's it. Lost passion. Maybe it's like he actually lost the feeling to play soccer. And that's the only playing on spare time. It is possible, said Rarity and even Applejack. But though there was something about Swift flying, according to the Rainbow. He was so good in soccer. So she started to ask Flash and the others if they knew something about this, but they were clueless. They even heard about this. But then they actually saw him playing soccer during the lunch break and even after school. He's professional good at this. And why did he quit? We don't know, said Rainbow to Flash. Probably something else. Well, he said something about lost passion. I don't know. But Rainbow, you should probably not go into things in like that. You know, something that might be too touching about. I mean, he might be taken as a very sensitive if you ask questions about something particular topic, said Flash. Yeah, but I want to know why. Trust me. Follow my advice. Don't do this. You might get in something things that you never want to be had to get the answer. Are you sure? Yes. But that was something Rainbow would regret to do. Cause she couldn't resist to know why. So during her spare time, when after school, at home, while her parents are away at work, she spent a lot of time to research about Swift flying from his previous school, or if there was anything online. Unfortunately, there weren't much, but she did actually find a news article. It was during a soccer game, or during between two schools, a friendly game. One of the soccer players was actually Swift flying. He was a school star in the soccer games. He was so good at it. But during a friendly game against another school, by accident, he shot the ball right in on his best friend's chest, and he collapsed right to the ground. And the game was shut off, but stopped just right then. Everyone just then walked up to him, and according to the article that she found, the player didn't survive. According to this, the shot was so hard that he stopped his heart. And after that accident, it was the reason when Swift Flying suddenly just quit doing soccer in school. And shortly after, that was when he moved with his family to Kansas City. and he wanted to try to get away from this past. And for some reason, though, even though that he missed his best friend, which he was already told by accident, he didn't mean to shoot the ball right at his best friend. This was something that she regretted to find out. But the next day in school, by her locker, she handed over a paper to her friends. They all looked at it. "What is it about?" they asked. They saw it was the title of the newspaper from a neighbor town. And they saw the title, "School Loss During School Match." And they find out exactly what it's about. And Flash, who was also there, saw this. And he just looked at Rainbow. But Rainbow, for all the time that they had known her, she actually cried. They all looked surprised at her. Then suddenly, Swift Flying appeared behind her and said, "Hi, Rainbow." But when she turned around, he saw that she was crying. But before that he could ask her, she just ran away. And he was just standing there, surprised. And he then looked at his other friends and said, "What's going on?" But they didn't say a word, but Flash handing over the paper. He looked at it and then realized what happened. He tried to find the Rainbow, but just then the bell rang and everyone had to go to class. But where did Rainbow go? Apparently, she left the school right away. She ran so fast, she ended up in the park, where she stayed almost the entire day. But it was until after the next day when Rainbow went back to school. Even there, she tried to avoid her friends, and she didn't want to talk to them. But when Swift Flying was around in the corner or the area, she just immediately ran away as fast as she could to avoid him. But after school, he found her near the soccer field, but she wasn't playing. And he walked up to her and said, "Rainbow, before you leave, I understand what you felt like this. Trust me. I have moved on, but Flash told me about what happened." And he sat down next to her and said, "Look, I'm not angry that you find this article. Like I said, I moved on from this. But I didn't expect that you would try to look up to this. Like I said, I'm not mad. I'm just surprised that you actually did pay attention to this. Do you miss him?" she asked. "Every single day. He was my best friend. Same age, we grew up together. First met in the first grade. He was like my brother. We do anything together. But now, I wish I never had done that, so he can be in here. But, if I knew he would said, move on, play soccer. Play the soccer as you love as much. Ever since the accident, you never played it in school, is it?" "That's right. After that accident, I never played it. I vowed myself never to play soccer, either in any leagues or anything, just only playing for myself, practicing like that, but mostly as an honor, memory of him. But you should play soccer with someone else, like me or Applejack or the others who are good at soccer." "I don't know, but I can't. I just lost a passion in soccer." "Would you even lost soccer feeling the passion if you play with against me? Like if I stood in the protection and try to catch the balls before you even get me to score?" "I don't know. Probably not. I mean, that wouldn't probably I can do. How about this? How about you, me, Flash, and Applejack play as just four of us? Just four of us. I don't know. Probably not. Come on, at least one game. Alright. Saturday? At the park? Sure, see you there. And later that evening, Rainbow had called Applejack and even Flash, and both of them was agreed to do this. But the first Flash said, Rainbow, are you sure even this is a good plan? I mean, all we know that he lost his best friend in an accident. And this might trigger some bad memory that he might just freeze during a play. Even Applejack had agreed on that. Applejack said, yes, I agree with that, Sugar Cube. Are you sure this is even a good plan? Trust me, Applejack. I wanted this to try to make it work so that he might even try to loosen up a bit. I notice it might sound a bad idea, but I wanted to at least make him to play soccer, maybe with just some close friends. Not that to be part of the school league or something, just play soccer with some close friends. That's it. I promise that is all I wanted. Alright, see you at the park on Saturday, said both of them. And on Saturday came. They all waited at the park, and suddenly Swiftfly appeared. And he was there even though he was very skeptical if he would even want to go. But he promised Applejack and Rainbow that he would be there. So at first, he was playing again with the guys against girls. And of course, the guys would have no much as a bad chance since soccer was actually Swiftfly's top special sport. And after nearly an hour, the score was between the girls was 10 and the guys 11. The girls needed two more goals to be able to win against the guys. But when there was 11 against 11, there was only one more point. Applejack and Rainbow tried to make sure that either Switchfly or Flash made another goal. But after that, Flash managed to trick the Applejack and Rainbow to one place, and that Swiftfly made the final score. For them, it felt amazing, but for most, for Switchfly, while he was standing there after he made the score, it was like he saw something at the score. He saw his friend. It was like if he imagined his friend standing there with a smile and nodded, and almost he could hear her say, great job, Switchfly. You're the best. And that made him smile, and he realized he should try to get him to play soccer, even though that's only between friends. But he realized he should do what he really enjoys to do. So for next, after several days after this news spread across the school how much this game between the girls and guys was just really acting. And soon, Applejack had actually invited Swift Flying for another game, and he was up for it. But what he didn't realize this time, it was going to take place at the school, and now they had an audience, around 20 people, around some students from school. But now, normally he would have felt nervous, but now he didn't. He actually felt very excited. Even during this game, Swift Flying could see how happy Rainbow were when he was playing against her. And just after all this that she had doing for him, it made him to realize Rainbow was actually kind of cool girl, and even very sweet of her while doing this just to make him to realize his passion for soccer to continue it. And after all of this, after but only a few weeks during lunch break, Swift Flying actually walked up to Rainbow when she was talking to her friends. asking her if she wanted to go out with him on a date, which surprised all of them, most of all Rainbow. She didn't expect that he would ask her out, but she didn't know the answer. But their friends, they encouraged her to make it, try to see if it could work. So she said yes. So they actually went to the movies on the Friday, right after school, and they actually had this amazing time. They went to see an action movie, and both just laughed, screamed of joy. That since Rainbow actually had a great time. And after that, after they were standing outside the movie theater, Switch Flying just looked at her and kissed her on the cheek. That made her blush a lot. But normally that would have made her smack someone on the shoulder or just run away. But this time, she didn't do either of them. She actually stood there and then she grabbed him and kissed him right on his lips. And that made their official kiss. Because right after this, they start dating. And of course, they didn't keep this a secret from their friends. But all of this was actually very excited from both. Rainbow, she was really excited to have a boyfriend for the first time in her life. And Sweet Fly, he was really happy that he had moved on and he had found someone to be with that almost often reminds him of his best friend that he passed. Since his best friend has much very common things like with Rainbow. And he had said to Rainbow that she would not like his best friend. Since he was like her. That made her smile and said, maybe I wish I dated him instead, with a smile. And that's it. And then Switch Flying said, oh yeah? I probably had to compete against him and win your heart. And that made them both laugh. And even Flying's family was just excited to see him, so happy to have found someone to be with. And after her first meeting with his family, she wasn't really much surprised if they wouldn't think much about her. But after they know that she was a captain of the soccer team in school, they were surprised knowing that she was actually a soccer player. But it turns out that after this first date, Swift Flying had mentioned that he started playing games, at least soccer, with some friends again. But not as part of school, but just on his spare time after school. And that made him just feel okay with. And he did that as a memory of his best friend. And even after all of this happened between them, losing his best friend a year sometime before, and he now again a girlfriend, it made him realize sometimes things are meant to happen. Losing someone might also gain a new love in the process. But to him, losing his best friend was a very hard time for him. But he always remembered his best friend from his heart and his memories. And he knows that his best friend would be happy to see him, happy to be with Rainbow. Especially someone who is very much a soccer player like him, or is a sports enthusiast. But most of all, Rainbow. Her love for Switch Flying just only grows stronger for each single day since they met. After they finished school, Switch Flying decided to started to apply for this to be a soccer teacher or a coach, which he actually did apply and it actually worked. So he started working as a soccer coach for local schools or other groups. And Rainbow, she actually started working at the sports shop in the Central Mall. And actually, they enjoyed their jobs. And after about 2 years after they finished school, they actually moved in together. And after they've been dating for about another 5 years, they actually got married. After that, Switch Flying actually proposed to her during a soccer game, which was very something unique, especially for Rainbow, actually loved the idea. And they actually rent a cabin outside town for about a week, which was a great time for them both. And even 2 years later, they had a daughter, a daughter which both of them loved so much. But nearly 3 years later, they had a son, which Rainbow named after Switch Flying's best friend. And that made him cry of happiness, knowing that his friend would have enjoyed his son would have been named after him. And for Switch Flying, all of this of his life that has passed had happened for the past years until now was the best moments in his life. To find his girlfriend, getting married, and a family with her, and it was something that he never had wished for better to be. Even though he'd wish his best friend could have been part of this. But he knows his spirit will always be around him and make sure that things are safe. And for Rainbow, she had never expected to find a boyfriend while in school, but they actually enjoyed things to be with together. Playing soccer against each other, or at least with their friends, well, or just hanging out in the movie theater, watching some action movies, or even be at her place or his place. But now, living with with her husband, and having two children with him, was something way beyond her normal dreams would have been. She really loves it. And that's how Rainbow Dash and Switch Flying are a true love got a big family. The end.